Good day, good day, good day, good people. My name is Howard Martell from Virginia Beach, Virginia. We're going to be talking about a topic that can affect anybody at any time. We're going to talk about seasons of change, but God's purpose doesn't. Well, that happened to me yesterday as I transitioned from a 30 plus year in cybersecurity to a new calling. Scripture doesn't use the word career transition, but it speaks very clearly to sudden changes you didn't choose, seasons that end, and God's closing doors that were never about your performance. Here are the key passages and how they speak into being let go because of government cutbacks, not failures. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. My cybersecurity Navy support season was real and God given. Government cutbacks don't mean no purpose, they often mean new season. The season ends, the purpose of God continues. In our application, being let go isn't always God saying you failed. Often it says, God saying the assignment is complete, I'm moving you. God directs steps even when plans change. Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart divideth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. You devised your plan to stay until the house was paid off, but God directed your steps. Contract ends, budget shifts, job closes. The external reasons, cutbacks, policy changes, are human side. Divine side is God rerouting you. Or application. You plan to finish one way. God is redirecting you into a financial education, caregiving, and working my home-based businesses. That is a reroute and not random. Your source is God, not your employer. Philippians 4:19. But my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. The employer, contract of the government is a channel, not the source. When one channel closes, the source has not changed. Application. Losing the position isn't losing your provider. I can now use through my severance and my PTO payment. I'll have my severance next week and my PTO, and I got two large checks. That's going to suffice for a good amount of time because of being a good steward of what God has provided me to be over his investments. His This is his house. This is his body, but I have to watch what I put into the body, both spiritually and physically. My investment in precious metals and silver, new opportunities in financial education as new supply lines where I can really help the body of Christ and non-believers understand the importance of financial stewardship. Every 2 weeks you get paid, you should be putting a spiritual deposit into God's bank account. When one door shuts, God can open another. Revelation 3:7-8. He that opeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man opeth. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. God can shut doors no one can reopen. He can also open doors no one can close. Being released due to cutbacks equals shut door. New career and financial education, ramping up your home-based business. Caregiving equals beginning with an open door for him. Application. Instead of asking only, why did this close? Also ask, Lord, what door are you opening in the next season? Joseph removed for reasons beyond his control. Joseph didn't lose his job to cutbacks, but he lost his position in his family, betrayed and sold. His position in Potiphar's house, false accusations. None of it was performance failure. Genesis 50:20. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good to bring it to pass, as it is this day to save much people alive. Our human side, injustice, politics, other people's decisions. God's side, positioning Joseph for a greater assignment application. Government decisions and budget lines move you, but God can move it for good, position you to help save much people financially, spiritually, and practically. Identity is calling, not job title. Colossians 3:23-24. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men, knowing that the Lord ye shall receive the reward of inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ. Your true boss has never been the Navy, the contractor, or the agency. You have always been serving Lord Christ. The job title is just the platform application. Cybersecurity was the platform. Financial plus home business plus caregiving is next platform. Same Lord, same servant, new assignment. God uses shaking to lead to new work. Acts 8, 1 through 4. Persecution scattered the church from Jerusalem. And at that time, there was a great persecution against the church, which was at Jerusalem. Therefore, they that were scattered abroad went everywhere preaching the word. External pressures, persecution, forced them out of a familiar place. Results, they entered their real mission. Application. Cutbacks are not persecution, but they're still a shaking. That shaking can push you out of comfort into your true lane, teaching, equipping, caring, and building. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know this was a quick one, but I'm going to tell you, this new season for me is awesome. I can't wait. I'll let you know, the audience is watching and who's will be listening to this. It took me 18 years to become a command financial specialist. And I always wanted to be one because I've really been pretty good with money from the time I was active duty, from 1992 to 2012 when I hung up my uniform. My last 2 years as a frontline supervisor, I got the honor to be able to. Somebody was leaving the command, and they wanted somebody financially well, well off, and that understood money. And I went through the command financial specialist program, which is a week's worth of training, budgeting, and it helped me during my transition phase of leaving the military and going back into the civilian world because the adjustment's not easy for veterans. Speaking as a veteran and stuff, when you are not going to be the same person that entered the service at age 19 when you turn 39. Now, let's flip the script. 30 plus years later, I mean, I'm joining the unemployment line again, but see, this is the longest I worked as a contractor, almost 10 years supporting the modeling and simulation for the Navy. And cutbacks, the work's still there. I have already turned down jobs because I feel God's calling for me is to help educate people about money. That's why I am going to be partnering with an incredible organization that myself and my wife found out about a few years back. We've been clients of theirs called Five Rings Financial. I'm going to be what they call an advocate. Once I get my license, pass my test, I will be learning under our Virginia Beach office. Now, Heather and Scott Brinkman are our leaders, and they have their agency there. But Five Rings is in all 50 states, so you can look it up. I highly suggest you look it up. Why? Because the dollar's crumbling. On top of that, what if you could take those spiritual dollars that you have, right? That money that God has ordained to you every 2 weeks, and you take a little bit of it, what you're already earning, and you put it into something that could create generational wealth and also set you up for your retirement after you stop working. Now, I'm age 52. I've already had a financial nest egg already pretty well established, but it was because God introduced me to different people, and I'm glad I invested into silver. I invested into silver 5 years ago, and I'm glad I did because it has increased in value to about 200% since last year. It was up 147% in the last 3 weeks. Now they're taking some profits right now, which is good. That means that's a healthy market from my analysis. But what I love about it is that you can get involved with it. You can go to kepm.com. I'll put it on the screen here. Get a free consult. Definitely check it out. I'll show it right here on the screen, kepm.com. If you want more information about the financial education in the 757 area, February 11th, we are having an event. You're invited out there, but you have to reserve your seat. It starts sharp at 6 p.m. It's in the description phase of this, but I'm also gonna put this in the text. So just bear with me. And I'll put this on the screen. This is for those in the Hampton Roads area. It is an invite to the Westin Virginia Beach. It's going to be a powerful presentation that's going to teach you simple money concepts. Simple money concepts. There's no obligation. At the end, from 6:30 to about 7:30, there's a complimentary dinner provided. So do not come hungry there, but make sure you eat something light prior to coming there. Refreshments are there, coffee, tea, drink that's provided by the hotel. Now, understand, they need to have your reservation in because they have to pay ahead. Yes, this costs money from uh, from the agency. The agency's there to educate you. You're going to get incredible education. You're also going to possibly meet me if I invite you, or you found me on social media. If you're in the greater 7 cities of Hampton Roads, I highly recommend you get your reservation in. February 11th is going to be another powerful presentation. You're going to be like I was 2 years ago, and I'm very happy. Now, also because I separated from my job, I wasn't terminated. I left my job. I've been going through this morning through the unemployment website at Virginia's unemployment. I've already got my account set up, but then I got to wait till 8 o'clock to talk to a real person, I guess, to make sure that. So I'm going to apply for 12 weeks of unemployment. That's money that I paid into as a taxpayer into Virginia. So I'm going to get like I think $430 or whatever. It's fine. It's extra money to help stave the loss. So I am taking about a $6,000 pay cut, right? Because I was making six figures, but I don't need to make six figures. But what I do need is I'm working on things like my wife being my primary caretaker as a veteran who has issues. She helps me on a daily basis working on that, and also applied for Social Security, disability insurance, which I'm in those steps too. So one of them is going to get approved sooner than the other. I think that's going to be a primary caregiver. We have an interview for step 5 of 9 coming up on Monday. So we're excited about that. It's a great service for those veterans who have issues. As you get older as a veteran, it's going to get worse. So if you're not getting treated by the VA, make sure you get your disability claims in now and get a primary care doctor there at the VA so they can assess you and understand your health is crucial. And those benefits are not, you're not taking away from another vet. I'm going to tell you from my purpose. It took me 8 years, and I had to hire a lawyer for my sleep apnea. So just because you don't think you have a disability, you do. You are owed that money because of the service to your country, the benefits that come with it. College, I graduated college last year too. And that was another win for me. And I thank the Lord for that. That was a Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity. And basically, what's happening is there's a lot of transition towards money going towards missions in the military. That's what we're seeing, and we're not the only contracting company that's cutting back. There's a lot on the contract there is because this is a big contract, and our owner from our technology solutions, um, he didn't have to pay a severance, but his thing was if you take care of the customer, I will take care of you, and he lived up to his word. So um, it was an honor to be able to work with these people because there's former military and people that have had relatives that live in the military. We're like a little tight family, just like I did when I was active duty military. This was the same environment, and we enjoyed coming to work. But we saw something going on, like, okay, what's going on here? Because you're like, we haven't heard back, and our ID cards were going to expire yesterday. Well, we heard about it through basically through an email. And then they had to pass the word on to the West Coast team that flew in a few weeks ago. And so this was an after Christmas surprise that none of us thought we were going to happen because the government had supposedly given a okay that we were going to have an additional year, and then we have to with a non-compete. Now to give us 7 years on this current contract that we have, which is typically 5. But that's what happens sometimes. God takes things away. He reveals things. He continues to bless me and my family with my health. I'm on a 2-week journey at the gym now, at the base gym as a retiree. I get to use all their services. And I'm just taking care of me because I've been taking care of the customer for a long time. And it's time to take care of me. And it's also time to take care of you. So if you are serious about your money, get out to the West in February 11th. If you're in the 757 area code, get your reservation in. I promise you, it'll be well worth your time. If you want to like, share, or you want more information, about it. You can look it up too and stuff like that. Um, we've got a great team, and that's what I love about it is that I've always wanted to do this. And when they found out that I had been my contract came up, it's like you were always pretty good with when we were talking over the one for ones and stuff. So how would you like to come over here part time and just you know invite people? I'm great. I'm a people person. I love educating people about money. Silver is the real deal, people. God is blessing that multiple times because of the dollar. It's crumbling. And understand if you can protect your 401k, that's right. I'm going to take my 401k with the help of the Brinkman Group at Five Rings. They got their own agency there in Virginia Beach and Lynn Haven. We're going to take that money and we're going to spiritually deposit it in. And when we're going to put it into like, I think a 10-year plan where it's going to increase. And let's see what God does with that, right? And that will be on top of the nest egg that we already established with living benefits and everything else. So you're gonna learn about compound interest, index accounts, how money works. And it's a simple, there's no obligation after the dinner. You can leave. All we request you to do is fill out a simple survey if you want more information. And then there's a confident, they already mentioned it's confidential. We'll sit down with you at your business or at your home if you want more information. I love it because it's a simple model and it works and it's one of the fastest growing companies in America. That's right, in America. And I'm going to be part of it. So God's opening up a new season for me. And I hope you enjoy the message that I just spoke about because any type of job transition and so much more is there, right? But as I wait for the unemployment office to call so I can call them and put in my application to get my 12 weeks of unemployment. I reflect back on the journey. And it's like it's bittersweet. And we all promise that we're going to keep, maybe have a monthly lunch if we can and stuff like that with each other and keep in touch because we want us to all succeed because we have 36 bodies that are now unemployed as of yesterday. Every single person got some type of severance. Me, because I've been there 9 weeks, 9 years plus, I got a little more. But even people that were there longer, they got about the same too. So to me, we will be missed as a team. I know the customer was shocked when their government officials made this decision and they were like, "You got all this work to be done, and who's going to take it?" And we've had excellent records. We've always got excellence on our PARs, which is our contract. And our owner's a small disadvantaged business owner, so you have the competitive edge. And he's had it for 23 years. Think about that. Think about how he feels about this. But like he said, he really didn't speak too much about it. We allowed yesterday human resources to go through all our paperwork and stuff and make sure that we understood the benefits and that as of yesterday you are no longer an employee of Osgar, but you can be rehired because you weren't terminated. See, so there will be opportunities I think to work for the company if that time comes. But as I said, my new season is to take care of my health, set up things like estate planning and stuff that I got to talk to a lawyer about and stuff. Definitely want to do that before it gets to a certain point, and just take care of my family and just be a good steward and help as many people as I can by blessing them, by inviting them out to the Money 101 series. You are going to truly be blessed, whether you believe or not. I'm going to tell you, it's eye opening what you're going to learn in 1 hour. And if you don't want information, you think you're well set. What if we could help you with things like living benefits? I'm gonna tell you a little bit about living benefits. Living benefits, what I learned, allows me, if I get sick or my wife gets truly sick and that medical bills keep on piling up, you can borrow up to 90% of that policy. You still have the death policy. So say you have a $500,000 policy, for example. You have that, but then you have living benefits. The traditional insurance that used to be was a death benefit. You had to die for it. This is living benefits because it will help you so you don't become bankrupt. Medical bankruptcy is a huge thing that happens to people who have comorbidity, different other things. And in America, we are sick. So there's a chance that typically from that living benefit, that policy that you could, they have from death benefits, there's one. For every death benefit, for every living benefit, there's anywhere from 5 to 8 claims against that policy in that lifetime of that person or that family. So once you have the insurance, and they're going to show you how to take the money you're making now, repurpose it, and put it into tax advantaged. All that stuff is explained. It gets more deeper, but it's a simple thing. It's not hard. And every year they sit down with you, and I'll do the same thing, especially if I have a lot of people that I know, because I really want to help my veteran friends. My veteran friends who have a pension, have disability coming in, that we can do something with that money, just like I have. So if you're a veteran too, I invite you out there to Virginia Beach, February 11th. All the details are on that Eventbrite there or in the descriptions. Please share and like this. I will be putting out different messages about it. And also, understand that transition happens in life no matter what. I had to transition from the military from 1992 and then left the military at 20 in 2012 after 20 years, 10 days. I never thought I would have did 20 years, but I got great experience and it propelled me into a 30 plus year cybersecurity career. And as I conclude that, I always have that in my back pocket if I wanted to go back to work. It all depends on what I want to do. I'm not chasing money. I was never chasing money, but the money, the blessings, every year I got a pay raise and it accumulated. And it shows in the stewardship dollars that I'm able to not only invest into consistently into the tithing. I'm still to have the same amount of tithes I did from last year. Why? Because God's going to bless that diligence and that stewardship. Because if you try to take something away that is already God's, how is He going to bless you? You got to understand the concept. There's there's so much purpose in faith, right? And in the scriptures that it talks about, you got to have that. You got to plant that small little mustard seed and watch how the stewardship dollars start accumulating through compound interest, the rule of 72. You're going to learn about these things, and it's a 1 hour powerful presentation where you're not going to be bored. You can be like, if I do this, and if you're in the government, you know who you are and stuff like that, and you do have a thrift savings plan, they can help you with that too. Ex-military have thrift savings plan, same thing too. I did the same thing. With that being said, take care. God bless. Stay safe. As Hampton Roads, we're expecting some type of snow starting tomorrow. So make sure you're prepared and you have enough food and supplies to last. Take care. God bless.